For anyone in the process of learning to pull up, you've probably seen the many different ways that we can regress the pull up in the hope of getting to a point where we can finally do one. But with all the options out there, how do we identify the best pull up exercises? That's what we're going to chat through today. Let's get into it. How you doing, Cali Crowd? Welcome back to the channel that makes calisthenics simple. Today we'll be ranking pull-up regressions, and to try and keep this as objective as possible, the context for how we will rank them will be based on how good the exercise is at getting you to your first pull-up if you did only that exercise. Pull-up exercises will be ranked from super effective through to absolutely pointless, fridge in an igloo. Without further ado, let's jump straight into it with, well, the jumping pull-up. This is an exercise that I see many beginners do, and I get the idea. Going from a dead hang to initiating a pull-up can be very challenging, and in the context of pull-ups for beginners, the jumping pull-up allows us to get a little feel for what pull-ups are like. The main issue I have with this is that it's very difficult to get feedback on how much support your legs are giving you, which means over time it's difficult to measure progress. This can then lead us to doing jumping pull-ups for really long periods of time without ever progressing. Moreover, the legs are taking over the whole bottom half of the pull-up, so we build little strength there. For these reasons, I'm classing it as might work eventually. Lat Pulldowns. Easy to see how this could evolve into this. Similar pattern, muscles worked and strength curve, but calisthenics is all about the nuance, and it's in the subtleties that the lat pull down lets us down. Being seated and secure offers us very little transferability to pull-ups. How many times have we seen somebody who's an absolute beast when it comes to lat pull downs, but cannot string together one pull-up? Lat pull downs, fridge in an igloo. Jackknife pull ups are a progression that we have discussed on this channel before, right off the bat dropping this into very good. But Andrew, why would you class jackknife pull ups as very good when you've just said lat pull downs are useless? Well, like I said, it's all about the subtleties, and in the jackknife pull up, our core and lower body are far more engaged. By reducing our reliance on our legs over time, we get close to the pull up, whereas in the lat pull down, you could be pulling 2, even 3 times your body weight, and your legs will still be strapped in. The biggest downside to the jackknife pull up is similar to the jumping pull up in that it's very difficult to measure how much support your legs are giving you. Next up, we have the inverted row, aka the Australian pull up. A fantastic exercise, builds so many of the upper back muscles and is great for posture. Might work eventually. It actually hurts me to put the inverted row here because this is such a phenomenal exercise and I love it so much. This will build global pulling strength, but in the context of what we're going through today, if you only did inverted rows, you will struggle to progress to the pull up. Next, we have scapula pull ups. This is essentially the first part of the pull-up movement. If we get strong at this, we have a very solid base to pull from, but it lacks a lot of the ability to develop the rest of the pull-up movement. So for that reason, I'll whack it in, might work eventually. Next, we have the chin-up. Assuming you're looking to do a proper pronated grip bar pull-up, the chin-up represents a significantly easier alternative, largely to do with the involvement of the biceps, which play less of an active role in pull-ups. That being said, chin-ups themselves represent a significant challenge to beginners, and it can be really frustrating if you cannot do both, and yet you still hear, oh, you can't do pull-ups, just do chin-ups instead. All the same, similar muscles are worked, and the chin-up can make for a really good halfway goal on the way to pull-ups, giving you a significant psychological win on the way. So I'll class them as very good. Pull-up assist machine. I've shown my lack of love for machines on this channel so many times. Being fixed in a steel monstrosity is everything that bodyweight training isn't, and the pull-up machine is not that much different. That being said, the pull-up assist machine allows us to try out the pull-up movement in a way that we can definitively measure and get better at over time. These just about sneak into the okay category, but I want to be very clear, if you only ever did the machine assisted pull-up, you would really struggle to get your first pull-up. Pull-up half reps. Reducing the range of motion to make our pull-ups easier makes intuitive sense until you remember the said principle. Specific adaptation to imposed demands. By working only the easiest part of the pull-up, i.e. the middle bit, we neglect the 2 hardest bits of the pull-up, the top and the bottom. Similar to chin-ups as well, half rep pull-ups can still be quite difficult. So for these reasons, I put this in the okay tier. Kipping pull-ups. Kipping is a cardinal sin in calisthenics. We've all cheated to get that last rep out of a set, but programming in kipping with the idea that it will somehow translate to clean reps? No, these are straight up fridge in an igloo tier. Pull-up negatives. We are significantly stronger in the eccentric portion of an exercise. More to the point is that by lengthening our muscles under tension, such as we do in the lowering part of the pull-up, is how we build muscle. But people looking to learn pull-ups tend to use negatives very inefficiently. Negatives are at their most effective when used at low rep ranges for really high intensity. But beginners tend to cram in as many negative reps as they can. Moreover, is that working at this level over long periods of time can put huge strain on our connective tissues, as tendons and ligaments take longer to recover than muscle. And this is the only reason that this highly effective, albeit often misused exercise sits only at very good. Pull-up isometrics are next, and these tackle specific parts of the pull-up, usually the top and the middle. By getting into one of these positions and holding, we can build strength within plus or minus 30 degrees of that range of motion. This is very good because we can then work on weak areas of our pull-up. I class these as very good as they have the same issue as pull-up negatives, namely that isometrics can also be taxing on connective tissue. Okay, so you've probably already guessed now what's coming and is going to sit at super effective. It's the resistance band pull-up. They get you familiar with the pull-up proper in a way that introduces instability while still aiding you. We can measure it just by changing the bands, and it allows us to go through full range of motion. If you did only resistance band pull-ups and got better at that over time, I have every confidence that you'll be able to learn how to do a pull-up. But crowd, if you're looking to structure your pull-up training in a way that also builds pulling strength overall, then make sure you check out this video on your screen right here.